Welcome students. In this video I'll be talking about I'm gonna give you a lesson on Python if statements. My name is Virgilio Serna. Please subscribe. So introduction. The if statements is a fundamental building block in Python and many other programming languages. It allows us to make decisions in our codes by executing certain parts of the code only when specific conditions are met. The lesson I'm going to give you will give us the basics for the if statements. I'm going to provide you some examples and I'm going to explain the outcomes for those examples. So how to understand if statements. An if statement evaluates a condition and executes a block of code if the condition is true. So for example, if you look at this here, the keyword if, and then next to it is the condition. That's what I'm talking about. And then you put the column. This is a requirement, and then afterward you put whatever the code you want to execute. Okay, so if the condition is false, the code block is a skip. So this here will be a skip. The general syntax is as follows. What I was talking about. So some of the key points that we need to be aware of. The condition is an expression that evaluates to true or false. So this condition here evaluates to true or false. The code block under the if statement, this one here, is indented. So here, this one here is indented here to indicate that it belongs to the if statement. Python uses indentation instead of brackets to define blocks of code. Java uses brackets, but here we use indentation in Python. Another kind of if statement is the if, if, and else. So this kind allows us to do the following. In addition to the if, the regular basic one, you can use the if and the else to create more complex decision-making instructions. The if, short for else if, allows you to check multiple conditions. So instead of having more than one condition, you can put multiple conditions. And you can have multiple things that you want to print or multiple things that you want to do based on the multiple conditions. And then the else provides us a block of code that runs if none of the previous conditions are true. So here's the syntax. So let's say if condition 1 is met, you run the code underneath. And of course it is indented. And then you put an if condition 2 is met, you run that code. And then if that condition is not met, if condition 1 and condition 2 is not met, then the else statement kicks in, and then whatever is underneath, of course, it has to be indented. This executes. The code here executes. So let's go through some examples. We're gonna go through 20 examples. So the first example, I'm gonna go a little more in depth, but the other ones I'm gonna be go a little quicker because I'm gonna give you what is needed. So first we have a variable here, x is equal to 5, and then the condition is that if x is greater than 3, we're gonna print x is greater than 3. What is x? X is 5, so 5 is greater than 3, so of course we have to print x is greater than 3, and of course what is printed? X is greater than 3. Since that condition is true, the message is printed. That's the explanation. Now let's go to example number 2. Now the variable is equal to 2, the value is equal to 2, but the condition says that x has to be greater than 3, so that condition is not met, so it has to go through the else. The else is the only remaining, so it has to print this one, x is not greater than 3, and of course that's what is printed. The else block is executed. Let's go to example number 3. Now the variable value is equal to 5. The first condition is x is greater than 5, so that is not met, so we skip that one. Now we go to the else if. The else if says that is equal to 5. This double equal, that means that is equal. That's how you write it in Python. And of course that is met, so we have to print x is equal to 5, and that's what is printed. Now let's go to example number 4. Now the variable value is equal to 7. Here we said x, if we divide 7 divided by 2, if the remaining is equal to 0, then we have, of course, if we divide 7, the remainder is equal to 2, of course the remainder is not equal to 0. That means that we have to skip this and go to the else statement. That means that another nice way of saying 7, this is the operator modulus. That means what this is saying is that when you do 7 modulus 2, that means that you're actually saying is 7 even. That is not, so that you skip it and then you go to the else, and then you said you have to print x is odd, and of course that's what is printed. That means that when you divide 7 divided by 2, the remainder is not 0. That means that it's odd. That's a math concept. Let's go to example number 5. Now the value is 10. Let's look at the if. Now we have two conditions in one by using the AND operator. So x has to be greater than 5 and x has to be less than 15. So x is greater than 5, that is correct, and x is less than 15, so 10 is greater than 5 and 10 is less than 15. That is correct. So what is it? X is between 5, 10 is between 5 and 15. Correct. Both conditions are met, so it executes. Example 6. Now the value is 20. So is 20 less than 15? No. I'm sorry, let's go back. Is 20 less than 15? No. Or is 20 greater than 18? Yes. So it is printed. X is not between 15 and 18. That's what it should be printed. So that the condition is true. So the block runs. Now let's go to example number 7. Now the variable x is equal to 0. Now we say if not x, that means that not x, that means not 0. If not 0, that means is 1. That means you turn the 0 into a 1. That's like saying true. 1 in the coding means true. That means the condition is met. When you say not 0, that means the condition is met, and you printed x is 0. So that is printed. That is correct. So that's the explanation. If you put not 0, that means whatever is underneath is executed. Let's go to example number 8. Now you have a string. X is equal to hello. It's a string. If hello, print x is not empty. So when you have a non-empty string, that means that you have a word or something, a letter or something. That means that you're gonna print it. That is a true statement. That is a true condition. That means that you're going to print it. So it is printed. X is not empty. The block runs. Now let's do example number 9. Now variable is equal to 5. Okay, now we check if x is 5 equal to 5. Yes. So we print x is exactly 5. And that's what is printed. Now let's do number 10. Now we have a list and we say is the length, if length of x. Okay, the name of the list is x, and we're saying if the length of the list x is greater than 2. What is the length? The length is 1, 2, 3. The length is 3, so that means that has more than 2 elements. Of course it has more than 2, it has 3 elements. It has to print whatever is here underneath. X has more than 2 elements, that is correct. Actually it has 3 elements, so that condition is met, so we're good. Now let's look at example number 11. Now the variable is 3.5, and we say if 3.5 is greater than 3, that is correct. But when we say and, both things have to be met. So the first one is good, and now let's do this one. Is and 3.5 not equal to 4, that is correct. So whatever is underneath has to be printed. X is greater than 3 and not equal to 4. That is good. Now number 12 is x. Now the variable is equal to true. If true, that means whatever print x is equal to true. Yeah, that is correct. When you say if true, that means that whatever is underneath has to be automatically executed. Example number 13. Now the variable is equal to -1. If -1 is less than 0, yes. So what do we do? We're gonna print x is negative, and let's check. Yep, x is negative. That is correct. Now let's do example number 14. The variable is equal to 4. That means that when we do the modulus 4 modulus 2, that means the remainder is 0. That means that it is even. So what do we print? X is even. Let's go to example number 15. X is equal to 9. 9 modulus 3. So 9 modulus 3, that means that when I divide 9 divided by 3, what is the remainder? So 9 is divisible by 3, because when I do 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. The remainder is 0 because, I'm sorry, 9 divided by 3 it goes evenly. It has no remainder. Goes evenly. That means that it is divisible by 3. No remainder. Let's go to example number 16. Now the variable is equal to 5, and we say if is 5 less than 3, no. So we skip this one and we go to the else, and we print x is greater than or equal to 3. X is greater, and what is printed? X is greater than or equal to 3. Example number 17. X is equal to Python. So we have a string with the value Python. And now we're saying if x starts with P, we're saying if the string starts with the uppercase P, and that is correct. Python has the uppercase P. That means it prints it, whatever is underneath. X starts with capital P. Now x is a list with 3 elements, and now we say that the if says is 2 inside x. Yes, look, is element number 2. So what is the what we print? 2 is in the list. Yes. So the in operator checks for membership. And basically in the condition it returns true. Let's do example number 19, or the last 2 examples. So now the variable is equal to 100, and now the if statement says is if if 100 equals to 100, yes. So what do we print? X is 100. Now the last example, example number 20. What do we have? X is a blank space, a white space. So what are we checking? If X is a space, yes, it is a space. I have a space here. So what do we print? X is a space character. So now let's conclude our lesson. Understanding if statement is crucial for controlling the flow of your Python programs. What we're doing is mastering the use of the if, and else. You can make your programs more dynamic and responsive to different conditions. Well, by using the examples provided on this lesson, you can practice and reinforce your understanding. And you can refer to the list of keywords as a guide when you write your own conditional statements. Remember, when you're doing the if, you're checking for true or false in your condition or for your condition. If it is true, you execute whatever is underneath. If it is false, you skip it. The if, you check for a secondary condition, and the else, you check for the last condition or the remaining condition. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.